Hello and welcome to The Truth About Storytelling. This is Tyreen Martinson, poet, podcaster, and author. This podcast is meant to be a help and encouragement to writers wherever they are at in the writing life. I do share some things about my faith. I have been sharing some stuff about a Mongolia trip and some from my personal life lately. But today and Friday are all going to be about writing and writing prompts. So, first up, what are we going to talk about today? Okay, I've been sharing some stuff about, some stress and some other things and how I kind of have been finding my way through it and how I've been finding joy. And so that's what today's writing prompt is all about. I want you to imagine a scene, either from your real life or for your fiction, in which there's just sheer mind-numbing exhaustion, like the kind of exhaustion you feel after jet lag, but like mind-numbing exhaustion. You in your real life are totally exhausted, and you're going to write about that, or your characters and their story are feeling just totally exhausted. But somewhere in the scene that you write, you're going to move from that exhaustion into joy. Now, if you're thinking about a real life memory, you might have to kind of sift through some ideas. You might have to brainstorm for a little while to find the right place you want to start. And if you are thinking about your fiction writing, you might want to take some time to brainstorm how that would fit with your characters and what you would want them to go through and how you would want to have that fit maybe in a story that you're going to share. If you're a short story writer, you could brainstorm a whole new situation with this. It's totally up to you. But I want you to imagine a circumstance in which your characters are totally exhausted, but they find their way into joy. Now, that joy could be that laughter you have when you're so tired that everything seems funny, but you find joy that way. It could be the kind of joy where they actually get some sleep and they wake up refreshed. It could be some joy that's unexpected. Maybe they see something or hear something that lifts their spirits, or someone comes to them and gives them a big hug if they're huggers, and maybe they are lifted up by friends or family. It's totally up to you and how you handle that situation, how you move your character from exhaustion to joy. So I invite you to write about that today. I have ideas, of course, but I want you to feel free to explore that. Really think about what that exhaustion could feel like, all of it, like physically feel like, what they might think about when they're exhausted, how they might think when they're exhausted. Maybe they just stare at a spot on the floor for like, who knows how long, maybe an hour, and then they're broken from that somehow with something that makes them laugh, or they hear something or see something that lifts their spirits and they find joy in it. And again, you can really feel that sensation in your character's physicality. Think about what they think about in that moment. Relay that somehow and stream of thought in your writing. Maybe notice what they pay attention to. They all of a sudden notice that the sunlight's warm and it has been all day, but they hadn't even noticed it before then. Or if it's raining, they realize, wow, those raindrops that are just dangling from the edge of the railing outside are so beautiful. They're like diamonds. So who knows what lifts them up and brings them joy. But I say who knows. Because they're your characters and you work with them every day and you're imagining what their lives are like and what might bring them down and make them feel exhausted, but also what might bring them joy and bring them joy that leads them out of that exhaustion into a new determination. So this exhaustion actually could come at any point in the story, or it could come particularly in the dark night of the soul of the story, when maybe they've just discovered something that's disheartening, or they've faced this major antagonist and maybe they've just had their rear ends handed to them after a sword fight. Who knows? They've had something really hard happen. They're going through a dark night of the soul. They're doubting themselves and they're just exhausted. They don't know how they're going to step forward. And then something kind of helps them turn the page, helps them find their way through into a moment of joy, a moment of levity, of hysterical laughter, who knows, but something that kind of clicks and brings them through that into joy and maybe determination for what they're going to do next. And anyhow, that's my writing prompt for you today. I hope that you have fun with it. Play with it. If you don't like it, turn it on its head. Go from joy to exhaustion. I don't know. It's totally up to you. It's your writing. There is no real wrong way to do it. There are people that have written in their bathtubs and people who have written in the bathrooms and people who've written in cafes and people who write by themselves. Who knows where you write, how you write? It's totally up to you. Go for it. Enjoy it or don't enjoy it. Again, that's totally up to you. If you want to write with gritted teeth, that's your choice. I try to write my way into joy if possible. So that's why I say like happy writing at the end of some of my blog posts and things like that. So this is my wish for you to have a wonderful day and hopefully a wonderful writing session. And I will be back on Friday with another writing prompt. If you like this episode, please hit like and subscribe or come hang out at my website, tyringstales.com. Thank you for joining me for the truth about storytelling.